the last time I'll say it this school year. Fridays are awesome. We appreciate you watching our last show until August 17th. I'm Carl Azus for CNN Student News. First up, another aspect to recent unrest in Baltimore, Maryland.
There's enough narcotics on the streets of Baltimore to keep it intoxicated for a year. Criminals are selling those stolen drugs. There are turf wars happening, which are leading to violence and shootings in our city.
Police say at least 175,000 doses of prescription drugs were stolen during Baltimore's riots in April. Could be a factor in the surge of violent crime that the city's seen since then. The unrest followed the death of Freddie Gray. 6 police officers were charged in connection with it. Gray was fatally injured while in police custody after he was arrested in April. Peaceful protests, violent protests, and looting followed. That's when so many drugs were stolen from 27 pharmacies and 2 clinics. Prescription drug abuse is not limited to Baltimore. It's a problem seen in every part of the country. Experts say doctors, patients, and pharmacists can all play a part in identifying and preventing prescription drug abuse. 2 new announcements to tell you about as more competitors enter the 2016 race for the White House. Lincoln Chafee made it official on Wednesday. He served Rhode Island as a Republican U.S. Senator, then he was an independent governor of his state, and now he's running for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination. Rick Perry announced his candidacy on Thursday. He served as the governor of Texas for 14 years. He ran in the 2012 presidential race, and he says he's looking for a second chance for the Republican Party's nomination in 2016. That makes a total of 14 people, 10 Republicans and 4 Democrats, who've officially entered the race. More candidates are expected to join them. I want to thank you for the tens of thousands of roll call requests we received this year on our transcript page. Today's 3 schools on the roll. Drum roll. Troy High School, Fullerton, California. The Warriors are watching CNN Student News. Ballard High School, Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks to the Bruins for bearing with our puns. And South Central Junior Senior High School in Union Mills, Indiana. It's awesome to be broadcasting with the satellites. Speaking of satellites, NASA is celebrating an anniversary this week. It's been 50 years since the first U.S. spacewalk was made. Since then, there have been more than 260 strolls into space. Most of them have been done to work on the International Space Station, part of its estimated $75 billion cost to the U.S. But many of the astronauts who've taken a spacewalk would call it priceless.
Okay, I'm out.
Okay, he's out. Slow 3.
They were the first American boots to step into space. NASA astronaut Ed White left the hatch of Gemini 4 50 years ago this week, strapped to a tether 250 miles high above the Earth. 23 minutes later, White returned to the spacecraft, which he would later describe as one of the saddest moments of his life.
Going outside when you have that full panoramic view through your helmet is just amazing.
Soviet cosmonaut Alexei Leonov did it first. American Ed White's mission came 3 months later, but it was White who proved that productive work could be done outside a spacecraft. That paved the way for this.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
NASA astronauts have performed hundreds of spacewalks since Neil Armstrong's famous moon landing.
Once he gets out, Mike, we're going to go ahead and verify our safer configs.
Michael Foreman has done 5 of them, spending more than 32 hours in zero gravity.
You're not 100% sure how you're going to feel until you experience that for the very first time. Fortunately for me, I felt very comfortable out there, and it was just like muscle memory took over when I went out that hatch the very first time, because I was just so used to doing the same thing here in the training that we had in the pool.
Now 1 hour, 3 minutes into today's spacewalk.
In 1973, when Skylab was damaged, repairs were made to the solar panels in space to keep it in orbit. During the 1980s, astronauts began using jetpacks to fetch satellites and carry out repairs.
Sounds great, Dan. That's a great effort all around.
It took 5 back-to-back spacewalks to repair and upgrade the Hubble telescope.
All right, the reflector bag adjustable and radar goes down.
Spacewalks are almost routine now, part of the building and maintenance of the International Space Station, which orbits the Earth at more than 17,000 miles an hour.
There's a chance that horse racing history will be made this Saturday, and this horse, named American Pharoah, could be the one to do it. His owner says he's like a pet. This weekend, he'll be trying to win the Triple Crown, a sweep of 3 famous races. He's already won the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness Stakes. The last in the series is the Belmont Stakes this Saturday. Winning the Triple Crown is hard to do, even for an animal born to run. The last time it happened was 37 years ago. The race in New York is considered the toughest. Not sure what American Pharoah or his competitors would do if they saw themselves in a mirror, but we now know what some animals in the African wild do. A French photographer traveled to the nation of Gabon and set up a mirror and a camera. Fortunately, the mirror was tough. What he found was that though some primates act tough at first, many later make peace. Big cats touched or played with their reflections. Elephants seemed the most uninterested. They'd already seen a few trunk shows and didn't need to make their feelings heard. Some others looked gorilla mad, or maybe got a little catty, or maybe just wanted to monkey around. In a way, it kind of mirrored the behavior of us. You and your teachers are more awesome than Fridays. We appreciate your viewership, your email, posts, tweets, letters. It has been a blessing for us to bring you this show, and we hope to see you again on August 17th. I'm Carl Azuz. On behalf of our CNN Student News staff in Atlanta, Georgia, thank you.